So since the 1/2 inch is a little bit large and it's not exactly round, there's a slight oval to it, I'm using some 120 grit sandpaper in my chuck, which I can get in there at a 1/2 inch, and I'm trying to sand it down to make it the size of a dowel that'll fit in those holes snugly. I don't want to go too fast because it may end up becoming too small. And I don't want to do this many times. Okay, that's starting to fit in this first hole, which so far has been the largest one here on this corner. And a little bit more. So there's a ways to go. So what I'm finding is that each of the holes are not drilled exactly the same diameter because they're reacting differently to the dowel the depth that I can try to get it in after sanding it down. So these two seem to be slightly wider diameter than those two over there. So I'm going to have to do each one at a time and custom fit it. So what I'm doing now is after I do some more sanding, I'm marking how far I can get it in the hole very snugly, and then I'm working on sanding a little bit more back from this mark in order to be able to get a distance I'm looking for, which in this particular case is back this far where my fingernail is, and I'm only up to that black mark and just a little bit below there. So I want to try to make sure I get it as full as possible. I think I have the first one done. I'm just going to have to go and cut off just behind this line and give it a test. Guys, it is a lot of hard work sanding this down. I even changed to 80 grit to try to make it go faster, and even with the drill on high speed, it takes time. I'm going to try something with my caliper. While I'm rotating this thing, I'm trying as best I can to put pressure so that I try to get it rounded as opposed to the elongation that this is on one side. So it's like 1229 there, it's 1191 there. So I've got to try to do the best fit. There's 1213, 1188. So this part down here is a little bit narrower at this point than the top. I put a hole in there with a screw to drive it down there to see what was going to happen. Now I'm going to turn it over and go the other way with it in the hole. So we got our trusty wood glue. And I'm going to use this Q-tippy to get it down in the hole. Like that. Paste it on the walls. This white wood cap is much thicker down here at this end. It's almost half the thickness of the guitar. And it's quite porous. So it might be some kind of a basswood on the top under this asphalted maple. And I did find the line today, so it is not a photo finish. My mistookers. Alrighty. Let's paste our dowel. Ooh, my cotton is coming off the top of this thing. I thought this might be a handy brush. It's turning out to be problematic. Okay, and now it's garbage. And let's see if we can get that in the hole. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, guys, I got it exactly where I wanted it to go. Just about 1.5 millimeters above the top. Oh, shit. Something worked for the first time. The first time. Can you believe it? Alright. So that's what it's going to look like with all those strings hanging off this thing. For now. And now I've got to actually invest the time to make each one of them individually, because like I said, all the holes when they drilled it seemed to be like they probably used the same bit, but depending on how they were holding it, they made them a little bit more wide or than the others, because this one was the widest, this one is the second. These two are very similar. I caught this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Alright, there's the process. Damn, that takes time. It's taken me over 2 hours to figure out how to do the first one. Hopefully the rest of them now will be a little less time consuming, and I can go a little bit faster on them. Okay, so everything didn't go 100% perfect. While I was holding it in my hand and spinning it with my drill, apparently I was holding it harder up here than I was down at the end. So now this part of dowel is too small for the holes. So I'm going to have to cut this off and start over, but luckily I bought 3 feet of this stuff, so I should be able to get 2, 4, 6, about 8 inches out of it that work. Okay, I got 2 out of that 8-inch piece of stick. That worked okay. We've always got little pieces left over. You never know when you can use them. I'm down to the last one. After taking me 2.5 hours to figure out the process for the first one, I was able to get away with 15 minutes apiece on the other ones. So the process worked. Tedious, but worked. Once I figured out how long it took to do certain things with, 120 sandpaper or the 80, I switched to 80 to go faster. It took off a little bit better, and I changed to a brush. Where's the top? Here's the top. All right, this is the last one. This hole was deeper than all the rest of them. Alrighty. Let's hope nothing goes wrong with this one now that I'm on camera again. Oh, I hate to be screwing up all the time on camera. I got to learn to hold things a little bit tighter too, because when you get to be my age, your sensory of the fingers don't work as they used to was. Okay, let's hope that's going to do it. Like I said, there's a little bit of a, and now with the glue on it, it's a little bit harder to go in. Kaboom. Oh yeah, I was putting just a little bit of extra glue around the top edges inside there because it's just below the surface, tiny little bit. And then just wipe around the edges with a wet rag for the rest of the glue. The other ones are already dried up. I took a little bit of a break between those three and the last one. Okay, that's it until tomorrow when I can attempt to install the saddle posts. But the new tailpiece won't be here until sometime Wednesday. So that's what the next thing is going to happen.